Okay, we are live. Welcome everyone to this Monday live stream session. So today we're going through an interesting session around the MetaMask Advanced Permission Dev Cook-Off. This is kind of like an intro, a presentation. So for the people hearing us, this is kind of like how we kickstart every online Dev Cook-Off, right? We bring partners together. We kind of explain what is the dev cook-off. We kind of like dive deep a bit on the some of the tech stack that we want to kind of like people to leverage. But without kind of further ado, let's do a quick round of intro. Dehan, do you want to quickly start? Is great to have Envy on board for this MetaMask Dev Cook-Off. We're super excited. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Super excited to be here. I'm Denim, co-founder of Envio. We'll unpack that in a little bit more detail. I am technical from background, so we'll be in the support channels to help you out on any of your questions. And based in Cape Town, South Africa.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, we're just speaking about surfing in Cape Town. That's a major cool city, and a great time zone to be in. Awesome. Ayush, you wanna go next?
Hello everyone, Ayush here. So I lead the develop for Smart Accounts Kit, and one of the new feature that we have added in the Smart Accounts Kit is the advanced permission. We are gonna talk about it in a bit.
Nice, nice, excited. And everybody was speaking about in Dev Connect about smart accounts, so it's a good timing to have this session. So again, for everyone is kicking in, we are basically like kicking off this kind of like intro on the MetaMask Advanced Permission Dev Cook-Off. So welcome everyone. So let's dive deep into the agenda a little bit. So what we will talk about today. So we will do a quick intro. We'll say also like a couple of words about what are those dev cook-off. Those basically are this monthly long hackathon on different kind of like ecosystem products. But most important, like the goal is to build interesting use case leveraging different technology from partners, but from MetaMask developer tooling and much more. Then I usually kind of like kick it off also a bit more diving into kind of like what are the MetaMask advanced permissions and the smart account SDK. And then we have Deham that so this month Envio is joining us as host of this MetaMask Dev Cook-Off, and we will actually speak a little about some of those use cases that he wish like people will build, what is actually Envio, and what are some of those hackathon requirements. Let's do it. So I think if you guys have any question, make sure you're asking in the chat. We're always kind of like happy to hear about what people want to build even before building it. We have also different kind of like resources and kind of like way and channels where people can interact, and our doors, our DMs on Twitter, Telegram are always open. Okay, let's do it. So what is a MetaMask Dev Cook-Off? So we're running this kind of like mini online build-a-thon because for us, it's very important that people, no matter where and when they are, they're actually being able to build and expand the feature and functionality of their current build, right? So we are welcoming, fresh code dApps, but we're also welcoming people with current apps that want to expand the functionality of their dApps. And any background is welcome, right? From different kind of like full stack engineer to even designer, we see different kind of like chemistry of groups. And for this particular MetaMask Dev Cook-Off, we already kicked it off the 18th November and is going through until the end of the month. We'll run different kind of like workshop, but the cool things here is that we have 10,000 in total rewards. So you need to think about these rewards as bounty, but most important is a good way, an entry point for getting in this kind of like ecosystem of builders, getting on the radar of like MetaMask and Envio engineers, and try to really build something that is resilient and long last. And I think that's a little bit about it. I mean, Ayush, you're kind of a veteran of this MetaMask Dev Cook-Off around delegation and smart account. Do you want to quickly say also like what is a Dev Cook-Off for you, and why is this so important to be combined with also those IRL activations?
I mean, like DevCook really gives you a long time to learn something, and that's why we are doing
Oh
this
yeah.
one as well, because advanced permissions is like a new thing in MetaMask, and it's a new feature that we want to see like how it works for developers and how their experience is. And that's why we're kind of doing this hackathon. That was the sole purpose of doing it, to get more feedback on like the implementation, the integration, and also like how the UX journey is like improving for the end users. We have seen a lot of talks on the cities that how like wallets are not taking the next step further in the UX game, and this advanced permission is like that next step for the UX game that we want to talk about. And I think here like one thing is missing is that we are also looking for the launch partners for the advanced permission. That means like when we'll be launching next year in the Q1 on like MetaMask extension, we will be like taking out like few of the partners to go with forward with, give them a push on the marketing side, help them with the GTM and everything. And like everywhere we are talking about advanced permissions next year, you will be there as well if you're a launch partner.
Nice. This is a good point. I think the 2 points I got from you is definitely the long-term hackathon, meaning you don't have the 48-hour pressure, and then obviously like partnering up and building kind of like sustainable grow. I think it's definitely key. So if you want to launch on the permission side, if you're already kind of like a pre-built app, always reach out. I think that's a great way also to participate in the MetaMask Dev Cook-Off. Okay, sounds good. Let's kind of like deep dive a bit on the I don't know if we want to do first
Yeah,
the price. Do we want to
I
kind
think
of like Mhm.
we can go forward with like what advanced permission is, like what's
Let's do it.
NGO, and then we can go to the price so like everyone understands like what is the,
So there is no FOMO.
yeah, there is no formal kind of
Awesome.
thing. So for the advanced permissions, I'll say like last time we did a hackathon with Envio and Monad on like smart accounts, and one of the top feature of the smart accounts was delegations, right? And that basically means that I can give permission to execute transactions on my behalf to any other smart account or an EOA or a smart contract, right? But when we want to take this further from the smart account to like an EOA, like external wallet, like MetaMask, we are implementing this feature called advanced permissions. So that means that you are able to like give those permissions directly from your MetaMask extension to any dApp or protocol to execute transactions on your behalf. Now, what this unlocks is like this removes the fragmentation that we are seeing in the ecosystem with like embedded wallets. Every embedded wallet, everyone is using embedded wallet just because like they want to like have the control over the signature, like or hide away the UX thing of like confirmations, right? And that was the main purpose like why everyone went for the like embedded wallet. And now we have a tech that basically solves that like UX problem where you don't need to, if you're playing a game on MetaMask extension, you don't need to like confirm every time, click click click, for every like on-chain operation you do, right? And that's what we're trying to solve with the advanced permission, where you can give that control to an app or protocol. And these are like fine grained controls where the scope of the permissions you give to a dApp, they can only execute under that scope. We'll go through
Nice,
the
nice.
docs and everything as well, like what kind of permissions we have as of now, and what kind of projects we are looking forward to as well. So hopefully there will be no FOMO.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I think it's quite straightforward. I think also like building those kind of like delegation use case on smart account is super powerful. And we also like listed different kind of like I think is in the resource of the DevCoco page. But I would say like let's actually like run through kind of like the pool and the track, or let's do Dana maybe a couple of like intro around NBO and what kind of like are your kind of like expectation also in terms of like what you would like to see and what are kind of like the current also like expectation that even you saw before.
Yeah, 100%. So I we're fully aware that Envio is essentially developer tooling. So we are fairly agnostic on what you want to build, and we feel like we're a tool to help you build out your application. So our bounty is pretty flexible in the sense that it's more linked to the best use case of Envio. So we want to see more complex integrations. We want to see more advanced pulling into using the different tooling and the data. But at the end of the day, we really want to see you building out what you kind of envision for your hack. One more nice point just to add, something that's pretty unique about Envio is we've really focused on high performance data. So it's got a really nice developer experience in the sense that you don't have to wait super long to kind of index this data, and it makes something like this around the tooling where you've got a lot more automation, a lot more transactions happening. It's really nice for this extra kind of performance boost.
Nice. And I think I usually showing here the page so people can also like check independently.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think also love the Envio tooling as a CLI as well. Like it's pretty easy to get started with. Uh, so if you wanna like you have your own indexes for the data, it's like super easy to use it.
Cool.
I think we can like talk about like the different price sections and like what are the requirements. So one of the like the category is like the best integration for advanced permission. So what we want to do is like not just have a space for the new builders to like build, but also like give space for existing builders or existing project to like integrate this like new permission system into their apps and see like how it behaves. Um, so if you are a like existing project that has built previously with like different hackathons that we hosted, or if you are a project that are interested to use like advanced permission, this track is for you. Like you just need to like use the advanced permissions, and we have like multiple kind of permission. As of now, like we have 4 different permissions which you can see on our docs as well. If you go here in the resources, you can click here on the permission type reference and you can see like what are the different permission types. We have the ERC20 permission and native token permission, and that's just the requirement. The possible directions are like if you're an agentic dApp using an embedded wallet, you can get these permissions directly from the MetaMask, and you can remove the usage of the embedded wallet in between and do the transactions on the user's behalf. If you are doing kind of recurring swaps or like limit orders, you can like take the permissions directly from the like MetaMask extension, and again like remove the usage of the embedded wallet in between, or like a session key in between, and like directly execute like transactions on the behalf of the user. The next category we have is most creative use of advanced permissions. This is like focus on the new builder. So if you have like a cool idea that you want to build out for like advanced permission, this category is for you. So if you are an agentic dApp focus on 804, we have like recently seen a lot of like upcoming use cases for 804 as well. At the Dev Connect, we also see like a lot of like talks like that are going through for the 804. And as we're moving forward with the A2A kind of thing, it would be really cool to see like how you can use the advanced permissions or the A2A, where your agent can sub delegate those permissions to different agent to perform some task. You can also like create a payment subscription service using MetaMask extension directly, where again like you don't need to have your own smart contract or like your own like embedded wallet in between. Directly users can pay from the MetaMask for like different services they wanna own. This is like the other examples what you can do with like advanced permissions for a new project. And apart from that, we have the best use of Envio as well. I think Denim already covered like what kind of projects they wanna see and like how they wanna see the usage of Envio. So we also have like 500 USD 100 each for like the best social media presence. So if you're building on like advanced permission, just tag us on the MetaMask dev, and you can use the criteria is like you need to show like how you're using like MetaMask advanced permissions for project and how it is like improving the UX space. And we also have the feedback one. As I talked about, like the major reason we like the long hackathons is the feedback we get, and the things we get to know from the hackers, right? And since this is a new feature that we want to like launch next year, we do want the feedback on like how the implementation is, how integration can be made more easy, or how we can improve the UX for the end users. So if you have a feedbacks, please share with us. Like we are all ears to know those. And apart from that, you can also check the schedule here. Like as we already mentioned, like it started at 18 November. It will be going till 31st December. And then in the resources section, you will find all of the guides, all of the like how you can get started, ES20 permission guide, advanced permission guide. You can also find the guides on Envio, you can tutorials and the additional resources where you can like find it. So yeah, that's it from the hack
Are
quest
you sure?
side.
I know this is a strange question because obviously like you contributed a lot on those guides, but what is your favorite kind of like guides if I need to check only one guides around permissions?
I think I can share my screen again and like share that guide.
Yes, that would be useful. I know a lot of people are also like spinning the scaffold Heath side, but I know that you were working also on different guides that you want to share. Oh, there you are. Yes.
I think this is the best guide you can see to get started with like the advanced permission. So it basically says like perform executions on a MetaMask user's behalf. This like will walk you through like how you can have a wallet client setup, why do you need a session account, how you can check the account UA code, how you can request the advanced permission, and how you can redeem those permissions. And like it has like multiple options as well, like if you're using a smart account, if you're using any UA, it has like everything covered for you. And then it also has next steps, like what do you want to do forward with, like as I talked about, like there is like different kind of permissions. So if you want to use like ERC20 permissions or new token permission, you can also go through the specific guides. And yeah, I think like this is the section that I love the most. Like if you want to build with the
Nice.
advanced permission, this is section for you.
Nice. And any kind of like favorite use case that you wish people will build? Apart, I know that in the bank of resources you mentioned a couple of use case, but is there something in particular that you see, even like very specific use case also for you, like something that you still didn't kind of like see being built that you wish kind of like builders out there will tackle?
I think like we have always seen like there is subscription kind of service out there in the Web3 world, but that's
Mhm.
solely based on like the Web2 kind of thing. And I don't understand like why you were building for Web3, but then using Web2 services like for powering your like Web3 stuff. And what we want to do is like how you can build a subscription service directly using like advanced permission, where dApp can like pull out like 20 USDC every month, every hour, whatever the subscription service defines the date and the timing. Based on that, it can like pull. It's very basic use case, but it's a use case that unlocks a lot of like potential use cases for like as a service provider application. So it can be a SaaS that you can like sell to like different tabs as well, like who has subscription services.
Agree. I think subscription. There has been a lot. I remember Superfluid was spinning up like the kind of like the streaming, but I think like we didn't tackle also like mini payment, especially because this is also starting. I mean, the big wave around agent payments. I think also agent will run subscription based services, and I think like X402. There is a lot of like interesting use case out there. What about you then? Something like if you need to choose, what will be kind of like the way to that you would like to see prejudging? Yeah.
Yeah, again, really excited to see what comes out of it. So no limitations, and I'm sure there are lots of cool and exciting ideas. I think from my side personally is I'd love to see some gaming applications, some simple
Mhm.
integration, have smaller payments, and kind of the permissions on that side, and see where the creativity goes.
That's very cool. Yeah, I think like gaming also in terms of like a smart account usage and delegations, there is a lot of like permission-based tricks that you can actually like combine both with Envio and smart accounts. Um, I think like we're good to go. So just to kind of like resume here, price pool and track. So best integration 3K, most creative use of advanced permission, best use of Envio. We kind of ran through best feedback and best social media presence and Twitter. This is kind of like a new things that we see also like builder. They are really good in kind of like explaining what they build, but for example, they're not advocating. And one thing that we wanna get better in terms of also like like ecosystem enhancing is also like if you're building something like we want you to be empowered and showing to the world and to other builders what you did. And I think like Our recommendation is really kind of like treat us also as kind of like how do you say, like kind of like a table where you can show other people what you build, some kind of like portfolio enhancement. And I think it's a great way also to get more exposure if also you are expanding those features and you want to kind of like build further and tackle more the ecosystem narrative too.
Also, just like,
Sounds good. Mhm, go
yeah,
for it.
just one more point on the best feedback. Since like we have like only four permissions as of now, I know there will be like use cases that you wanna have specific permissions, and I would love to know like what kind of permissions do you wanna see in like MetaMask advanced permissions? Like, is there any specific permission that you need that unlocks a specific use case for you? Like, Denon talked about like the gaming one, right? Like, so if you want to build on gaming, if you see like there's a specific permission that you need, do let us like know in the best feedback. That's what the track is for, not just like helping us with improving the integration and all the thing, but like how we can improve the end user experience with different kind of permissions as well.
That's a good.
Yeah,
I'll go for it.
if I just throw a comment in there, Francesca, I think maybe a word that aligns with what you're saying there was kind of a launch pad or showcase. And I just want to say my career in Web3 started 6, 7 years ago with hackathons, just one after the next, and really was
Yes.
super fun and a really validating way to gain exposure and add credibility and validation, especially during fundraising too.
Yes.
One more light note, I just want to mention there that best use of Envio, that 3K prize is split up. So there are lots of possibilities of walking away with something. So highly recommend giving it a spin.
Yes, it's a good point that you brought that up because, for example, like we're running like monthly MetaMask kind of community calls. We're bringing also like hackathon winners between kind of like Linea and MetaMask and multiple kind of like. And I think like it's always like a great feedback where you can actually like present what you build and show it's not just a 48 hours and that's done. It's really like the goal here is to also yeah, kind of like help those founders, not just builder, founder that want to build something resilient to kind of like go to the next steps, right? And I think exposure is something that it need to be done, and this has been also kind of like proving quite right with the all the people that are listening to those MetaMask community calls. We're also doing multiple workshops and always meeting IRL all those founders. And we're working on different things that we can't share yet, but there is a lot of like things that are happening under the hood. Okay, sounds good. Anything else that we're missing? Oh, we want to share probably the QR code in the next slide. I usually like for people to kind of like hack. This QR code is just basically going through directly the page that I use for sharing. So again, another recommendation before starting hacking, check out also like some of the rules, some of those ideas, and feel free to ask questions. I think
I
I
think
think it's the end of the month. Yeah, go for it.
yeah, it's the end of the date is different because of the UTC. So some people might see 30th December, but some might see like 31st December. So just make sure like you go on the like HackQuest page to make sure like which date it is for you. For me, it's like 31st December, but for like people living in different time zones might be different.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, always Samsung's. Okay, sounds good. I think the next steps also like we will probably like do a small workshop on permissions. I use in the upcoming weeks. Again, for anybody that is kind of like also listening here, we just presented and kind of like kicked off a little bit more concrete with Envio here, the MetaMask Dev Cook-Off of December. And yeah, excited to see some missions. Always like don't wait until the end. Start hacking, start building those features, and our doors are always open. Anything else that you want to add? Are you sure? Then before we close up here.
I'm just looking forward to see how people hack their way while the Christmas break is like coming. It's like around the
Mm.
corner. I just hope like people don't feel too lazy to hack.
Uh, yeah, it might be.
Yeah, on
I
the other
mean,
hand, it's,
go for it,
yeah,
Dylan.
everyone's got their free time, some holiday time. At least I love doing when I
Yeah,
have some time.
but this is what happens to me last year. I was like, okay, we have like I don't know 2 weeks, like it's free time to actually like deep coding something. So we actually saw more people actually hacking during those breaks, and it was very interesting. Let's see if this year is the same. But definitely, I think Ayush, maybe a couple of like use case around like Christmas presents, the permissions to that will be interesting to see something like that.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
then just one more shout out from Envio side. We are super active with support. We have a Discord and a Telegram. We have someone dedicated all days of the week to help out with any questions and queries. No question too big, no question too small. We have support tickets if you don't want it to be open and just want to maybe run it past. Really here to help you build what you're building. Another little quick recap of Envio. Think you've got your smart contracts, you've got your front end, and you need the data between. That's where you'll start to use Envio.
Exciting, exciting. I think we will also like send over those links. Then we could also like I think entry point also for a lot of like founders is the we have a Telegram MetaMask developer like chat where I can ask questions specific on permission. We have now the Builder Hub. We can actually like open a quick like Builder Hub dev cook-off section for people actually like asking question there. Yeah, and people, if you're listening, like bombard with questions, both Ayush and Hanam here. I think like it's always better to understand the situation if you want to build that. If it's something that kind of like innovative, and based on that, we can you can take it from there. Awesome, and thanks so much for everyone to make this live stream happen. There is a lot of work on the background, and yeah, for everybody listening, look forward for this workshop. We're starting like promote this on social, ask questions, and check out the HackWest like MetaMask Cook-Off page for kind of like more details. Awesome. Thanks so much, Denham, for coming. It's a great pleasure also to have Envio again, and yeah, I mean we're speaking about partnerships, and I think this is a great one. So and Ayush, again, thanks so much also for coming. I think without this part, we could not. I mean, people dream now about permission, so let's make it happen, especially after DevConnect.
Yeah,
So awesome.